all been talking about artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, maybe Discord, maybe Midjourney, Perplexity. We've been talking about Canva, artificial intelligence all over the place. But here's what I know. As a real estate agent, you're just like, Carrie, get me to work. I need a client. So today I kind of want to talk to you about buyers. Now we know in this market, most of us are looking for sellers, but I want to talk to you about a buyer because when a buyer comes in to purchase a home, you still need to follow the processes. So when someone calls you to buy a house, and I'm in Illinois, I'm also licensed in Florida, so it could be different depending on which state you're in. And if you're a buyer, you could also take notes, like if you're a potential buyer. First thing we do as a real estate agent is we need to figure out what you really want. So we do some discovery, like where do you want to be? Where do you think you want to be? What is important to you when you go to buy a property? Like, what do you really want? 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, 2 baths, full finished basement. Like, what do you really want? And then what are the non-negotiables? Now, the other thing I might even say to a client is once they give me their wish list, I might even want to know, well, how long do you plan on staying in wherever you decide to live? And the reason why I might ask that is because I'm going to say we're at the top of the market, the top of the market. Like 2008, we were here. And then it's 2023 and we're here. And in the middle of all of this, it was kind of like this, depending on where you purchased. So we are so far above what houses were selling for in 2008 and even in 97 when I bought my first house. So I often want to know how long do you plan on staying? Because if you're getting a VA loan, 100% financing, FHA 3.5%, conventional 3% down, you might need to stay put for a minute. And if you're like, Carrie, I only want to stay for 5 years, that property you might become a landlord overnight or within 5 years. And I say this because sometimes people like to move. And it might even change what you decide to purchase because you might say, okay, well, maybe I need to be looking at a multi-unit because if I do move, then at least I might have 3 incomes, or maybe if I have to go back, I can go back to that 1 unit. So you need to kind of ask a lot of questions when you're working with the buyer. Now, I also recommend that, when I say looking at data, I want, when I'm talking to a buyer, I want to show them how fast properties are selling. I want to show them how many potential people could be seeing that property in addition to them. I want to show them how long it takes to get under contract. And I want to show them the percent of what homes are selling for. Because I know, like my husband, he's going to say, I want a deal. And I'm going to say, there is no deal, but there's always a deal. Because, if you say, Carrie, I want to offer less, my next question is going to be, how badly do you really want the house? Because if you don't want to lose it, then we need to write a stronger offer. So if houses are selling for 100% of ask, never sure where to look, 100% of asking price. So if the house is listed at 100,000 and they're selling for 100%, that means you're writing a full price offer. But if I tell you 20 other people are probably going to see the same house you saw and you really want it, if you're not willing to lose it, we're probably writing above ask. That part. And if you're willing to lose the property, you write the offer you want to write. And then we keep on shopping. So I'm going to ask some probing questions because I need to know your motivation. Now, in all of this, when I say, what do you really want when you purchase a home? Now, when I purchased my home, it was affordability. House was $129,000. I was $124,900 when I bought it. By the time I got done, it was $130,000 because I bought new construction. And for me, it was location, it was affordable, it was new construction. That was important to me. I didn't care about anything else. I didn't care about schools. I didn't care about the train. I didn't care about transportation, nothing. It was just affordable. Now, once I moved into the city I currently live in, and now that townhouse is a rental, I realized that there was other value in the community. School district, one school district. We don't compete with other schools. Like there are some unified school districts where they fight for grant money. We're one high school district, one elementary school district. So that means when we get funds, it is just for the school district. The other thing is we have dual language. Huge benefit. Mi hijos hablan español muy perfecto. I'm still working on it. because we have dual language. So my kids learned how to speak Spanish starting in kindergarten. They can read, write, speak, think, and dream in 2 languages. So there was huge value. So when I start to ask questions to a potential buyer, I want to know, what do you really want? If schools are important, as a real estate agent, I can't tell you if the schools are great or not, but I can show you how to go do your own research. I can tell you, when I bought, scores sucked. But even though the school score sucked, we have kids that have gone to Harvard. It really has to do with the parent being involved. So when I ask you what you really want, I might have to say, okay, here, you're going to go do research here. Ask about the magnet programs. Ask for a breakdown of the school scores, because we have dual language, bilingual, and gen ed, which is English. So dual language, Spanish and English. Bilingual start, the kids start in Spanish all the way through 3rd grade. And then we have gen ed, which is English. We also have programs where, early learning. Kids learn how to play the violin at 3. We have some really cool programs, in addition to the fact that we're a train hub in the city I live in, and we have the metro. We also, when our kids go to school in this district, I just lost my train of thought. Basketball, AAU teams. Sports may not be the best, but we have a kid that went to the NBA. But if I go to the neighboring schools, we have so many kids in competition to get on basketball teams, baseball teams, soccer teams, you name it. The swim team, although we have a pretty good swim team and a pretty good soccer team and a football team, that I realized that the area I was in, my kid would be more likely to play, right? Little Johnny's going to play, and he is Little Johnny or Jonathan. So for me, I bought my home because it was affordable, but the value was, had I done the research, I was in a good place. The other thing I like to talk to my clients about is agency. Like, how do we work? In Illinois, we have designated agency, we have exclusive agency, we even have notice of no agency, meaning I don't have to represent you, but I can help you. And we also have dual agency. I don't typically like dual agency because it's hard to work with the buyer and the seller kind of fairly. So I usually encourage them to work with another real estate agent. I can refer that other client. And then I also like to educate my buyers on, you got to be ready. You got to be ready to write the offer. So when we go out to look at properties, I want you to have already worked with the lender, turned in all of your paperwork, and be fully underwritten. And it's almost like having cash. When I say almost, I mean, we need a house, we need an inspection and an appraisal, and we can close. I know I made that sound really, really easy. So I just want to challenge all of you. If you're a real estate agent, please make sure you are doing the discovery for your clients and give them what they want. Follow up, connect, make sure they're in your client relationship management tool, and make sure, so we got discovery, make sure you find out what's important, ask a lot of questions, and then even ask the question, is there something I didn't ask? Is there something you think you want? And again, how long do they want to stay? Look at the data. So thanks for watching. I am Carrie Little, the broker owner of Caremark Realty Group, designated managing broker in Illinois, broker in Florida. If you ever have any questions, feel free to you can send me a DM on Instagram or on Facebook, or make a comment in the feed. And please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to learn more about everything I teach, Learn to Earn, check out this playlist.